Character sketch of Martha's grandfather. Martha's grandfather is probably the most important character in the story. In our mind, he will be the winner once we finish reading full story. His words, "If you pay for it, it won't be a scholarship jacket," could make even the principal change his decision. He is somewhat a rich farmer owning a 200-acre range. He is seen in the story working always in his farm field. He is a sort of reserved type but a man of strong determination. Though he is uneducated, he believes that it is injustice to pay for a deserving award. So he strongly stands with his belief even when his granddaughter cried. Finally, his words win and Martha gets the award. When he hears both the sad and happy news of Martha, his reaction does not change. When she tells him about her winning the jacket, he still doesn't express his rejoice through words. He just gives her a smile and a pat on her shoulder. As the proverb says, "Still waters run deep." Some people will not show overtly their deep love and affection. Martha's grandfather is a man of this sort. Character sketch of Martha. Martha was a 14-year-old and was in the 8th grade. She was very thin and was mockingly called Beanpole and String Bean. She had toothpick legs. She was confident and firmly believed she would get the scholarship jacket. When she knew the board's decision, she was heartbroken. When grandfather told her that it was not right to charge for a scholarship jacket, she could appreciate her grandfather's stand. She was hard-working, sincere and earnest. Martha could realize the greatness of her grandfather. She was grateful to all. She was really an ideal student. Character sketch of grandfather. Wanga's grandfather, Constantine Makarich, was an old man of 65. He was small and lean, but remarkably lively and agile with a smiling face. He was working as a night watchman. He was very funny and talkative and also very faithful and obedient. He loved his grandson very much and wanted to make him proficient in shoemaking. But sometimes it seems that he deliberately ran away from his responsibility to look after Wanga. But Wanga loved him very much. As a whole, grandfather has a lovable character. Character sketch of the doctor. The doctor in the story, The Snake and the Mirror, is a humorous character. He was a beauty-minded person and he believed in making himself handsome. He laid great emphasis on the fact that he was unmarried and a doctor. He was pleased with his appearance. He decided to shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. He wanted to marry a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. He wanted a fat wife so that whenever he would make a mistake, his wife would not be able to catch him. He was full of appreciation for his good looks and believed in making himself look handsome. He took a close look at his face and took the earth-shaking decision that he would shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. He also decided to keep smiling as he considered his smile very attractive. When he saw the snake was chained to a stone, at this moment he felt the presence of God near him. He realized that if the snake struck him, he did not have any medicines in his room. He thought that he was a poor, foolish and stupid doctor. Character sketch of Wanga. Wanga is an orphan boy who is forced to work under Alyakin the shoemaker. He is leading a miserable life without proper food or sleep. Besides, he is illiterated by his master and mistress. Wanga is afraid of his master even to write a letter to his granddad. He is so innocent that the letter he writes is full of his childlike observation of life. Though he is very sad, he never accuses his grandfather. He is hopeful of his coming to save him. Wanga is nostalgic about his life in the village. Character sketch: The Boy. The boy in the story Adventures in a Banyan Tree is a typical character. He is in fact the protagonist, and we look at the events of the story from his point of view. More than anything else, the boy is a lover of nature. The banyan tree, the figs and the birds around him makes him very happy and enjoyable. He is such a nature lover that the animals never worry him. That is why he watched the fight between Cobra and the mongoose from top. He is a good reader and put up a platform on the tree to rest and read. The boy is so kind and never does he carry catapult or air gun to attack them. He loves and respects elders, and this is clear in his dealings with his grandfather. Character sketch: The Grandfather. The grandfather is a typical character in the story Adventures in a Banyan Tree. He is the head of the family and 65 years old, but age has never weakened him. He is very energetic and spirited. Even at this age, he dreams of climbing the banyan tree, and grandmother discouraged him. He loves his grandson very much. The grandfather is intelligent and allows the mongoose to live in the garden and thus keep away snakes. He doesn't tame the mongoose because he knows that if domesticated it would lose its vigor. Like the grandson, the grandfather too is a lover of nature. Character sketch of Mr. John. Mr. John was in his 40s. He was short in build. He had fair complexion. His eyes were clear blue. He had no hair, just behind his forehead. His dark suit, sober tie, and rimless glasses showed that he was a serious-minded and of a reserved disposition. 25 years before, the narrator, being a doctor, saved Mr. John's life from a suicide attempt. Mr. John was then a young person living an indisciplined life. He was on the brim of ruin. Mr. John had stolen a small sum of money from the office he had been working. The narrator gave him the money and asked him to put it back in the office. This incident touched the heart of Mr. John. He transformed into a new individual. He got education and became a lawyer. Moreover, he was now in the service of saving boys and girls who were victims of bad living conditions. Character sketch of Mr. Thorat. Mr. Thorat is one of the most important characters of Satyajit Roy's memoir, Project Tiger. He is the ringmaster of the Bharat Circus. He is a South Indian, very well built, with features somewhat like those of a Nepali. He is not more than 40 years old, and he is in charge of the risky tasks of training and keeping wild animals in the circus company. He has undergone many tiger attacks, and he has their scars on his hand. He appears to be a man with enough practical wisdom. He brings 2 tigers instead of 1 to the shooting location. If one tiger does not behave well, the other one can be used. That is his idea. He seems not to be confident enough about setting his tigers free on their own, but he himself suggests a solution. A thin but strong iron wire can be fixed around the neck of the tiger, and it will not be visible to the camera. He is seen very much frightened and helpless at the unexpected misbehavior of the ferocious tiger. He fails to control the animal when it turned violent. But Mr. Thorat is hardworking and adventurous and a man of high regard for others. When the first shooting attempt failed, he readily agrees to take the risk of bringing the tiger for the second time. He is a very cooperative person, and without his cooperation, Ray's film Gooby Gain Baga Bain would not have been realized.